Denny Hamlin is a hypocrite. I love the guy. I really do. I like him as a race car driver. I like him as a person, but he's a hypocrite. And if you can't see that, you gotta open your eyes a little bit. Guys, Pocono delivered. This is why I love it when racetracks have one race date. One day, hopefully in the near future, I will get my dream of every racetrack only having one race date, but I don't think that's going to happen. But because of that, one race date, when you have one date, one opportunity, you give your all to make it the best. And that is what Pocono was about. It was a full sellout crowd in the infield, in the grandstands. It was terrific, seriously. And Pocono has been struggling for a very long time, but as Pocono has always done, it can deliver some exciting racing with the strategy that Pocono always delivers and late race restarts. Pocono has always been, that kind of racetrack where strategy has always played a part. And late race restarts have always played a part. Today's race, while clean air meant a lot and it wasn't the greatest for, on-track passing, it was a great race in other ways. A lot of drama, a lot of entertainment, a lot of strategy as well. I felt like through each phase of the race, you had different things going on, whether it would be the beginning of stage 2, where it was just you can't make it in turn 1 because there was cautions. And then late stage 2, early stage 3, the strategy where people are trying to pit for fuel, pit for tires, short pit here, go long there. So that was very interesting to see who would, come up and come through. That would lead to guys like Denny Hamlin and Kyle Larson taking 2 tires and being able to jump over guys like William Byron and Martin Truex Jr. towards the end of the race and then stay up there because clean air meant so much. And then at the end of the race, you had late race cautions. Overall, I think that was a very, very entertaining race. For me, way better than last week. I was really entertained with Pocono, which I was not expecting to say that coming into this race. Real quick, I want to give a shout out to all the Patreon members as always for supporting the channel. You guys have been the best as you always are. Make sure you guys subscribe, comment down below, hit the like button. We're going for 100,000 subscribers. So if you would please, please, please subscribe and hit the like button, that would be awesome. And leave your comments down below with anything you thought about today's race. There's a lot to talk about. First up with the stage 1 winner of Joey Logano ending up crashing basically in stage 2. So win stage 1, lose your track position, and then you are kind of screwed. That's essentially what happened to Mr. Logano. And Daniel Suarez, a playoff bubble driver, also got involved in that as well. I'm probably not going to talk about the playoff bubble today because I talked about that last week, and we don't really need to talk about it right now. I want to talk about the race. There's a lot that happened in this race, as you can obviously tell by the title of the video. We will get to that later on. But yeah, it was Martin Truex Jr., Toyotas were really, really good. William Byron, fastest Hendrick car. Kyle Larson was also very good, but he spun. He got spun. He got spun by Christopher Bell in a turn 1, completely accidental. Christopher Bell apologized. He didn't mean it. And Larson backs into the wall, but the cars, it didn't really bend up anything in the back. So he was fine. He just lost all his track position and then had to work the rest of the race to get back to the front, and which he eventually did until another Joe Gibbs Racing car then decided to say, yeah, no, you're done. So we'll get to that eventually. But yeah, Joe Gibbs Racing, they were on one today. I will say the Toyotas were definitely on one. Christopher Bell, by accident, he didn't mean it. Denny Hamlin, Tyler Reddick, I know that's a 23XI, but basically a Joe Gibbs affiliate, was also involved. Again, not really his fault. Let's get to that right now. Austin Dillon and Tyler Reddick. So Austin Dillon has the hardest wreck of the race going into turn 1, 3 wide. I think Brad Keselowski was on the outside, and he just got wrecked and went up to the wall. At least that's what he thinks. He thinks he got wrecked. Oh, and then he threw his helmet. Yeah, Austin Dillon was like, I'm going to throw my helmet. But the problem was the helmet hit the ground before it got to the car. If the helmet hits the ground before it reaches its target, that's a bad throw. It doesn't count. So Austin, you embarrassed yourself on the racetrack, and then you embarrassed yourself with your helmet throw as well. So that's 2 out of 2 for embarrassments. I'm a little bit sick and tired of the Austin Dillon experiment, to be honest, in NASCAR. I'm just tired of it. I would like the 3 car to be respectable, and he's fine, but he's really annoying. He just I don't know. Basically, he wrecked himself. He thought Tyler Reddick wrecked him, but when you look at the replay, he wrecked himself. If you can't see that, I don't know what else to tell you. Tyler Reddick was on the bottom, 3 wide. People have been going 3 wide all day long on restarts, on full speed. Didn't matter. There's enough room. Reddick, if you look at every other car on the track, he's even below the lowest lane. He's entering the corner as low as you can possibly go. And there's basically 2 car widths in between Austin Dillon and Brad Keselowski in the top lane. He had plenty of room to give Reddick more room. He gave Reddick no room, and he ended up wrecking himself off the nose of Tyler Reddick. That is what happened. Objectively, that is what happened. And if you can't see that, then you don't understand racing. I don't mean to be wrong or rude, but if you can't see that Austin Dillon wrecked himself, you don't understand racing. It's as simple as that. Tyler Reddick was as low as he could get. He can't go to the grass. He has to get some angle to get to the corner. He was there. He didn't dive bomb it. He was there. So Austin Dillon, again, embarrassing. The guy doesn't win races. He doesn't get top 5s. He sometimes finishes top 10s with RCR. He gets outperformed by basically all of his teammates, whether it be Reddick, whether it be Kyle Busch, whether it be, Paul Menard from 7 years ago. He'll get outperformed. He'll win the occasional super speedway race or something, but then that will be it. I'm just really tired of the Austin Dillon experiment. Basically a hack. Silver Spoon has that ride for the last decade, and nothing ever happens. He could be mediocre for his entire career, which he has been, but nothing will ever happen to him. And I just don't care about drivers like that. I don't care about them in the Truck Series. I don't care about them in the Xfinity Series. And I really don't care about them in the Cup Series. When you have your ride due to other factors, and it doesn't matter what you do on track, whether it be over the last 10 years you've been mediocre, doesn't matter. You could just make a living. I just find that to be really freaking annoying, but whatever. And to make it worse, he's in the 3 car, which is just like, gonna bring back the 3 car and put that Silver Spoon piece of crap in it? Like, whatever. At least he made a reality TV show. Congratulations. Now let's go to the end of the race. There was, again, a lot of incidents. There were certain spins, certain cautions that would come out that would change things. The first one happened with around 17 to go, where I think Briscoe got dumped by actually the other Dillon, Ty Dillon. I don't want to say anything on that just because there had to be something. I didn't see it, but there had to be something that led up to that because Ty Dillon genuinely just dumped him. So, yeah, I mean, I don't really have much opinion on. Listen, do either of the Dillon brothers deserve to be in NASCAR? No, not really. No, they don't, but they're in it, so whatever. I don't care. Anyways, so that caution comes out with 17 to go, and you have basically the cautions breed cautions. First one comes with Denny Hamlin and Alex Bowman. Now, to give Denny Hamlin the benefit of the doubt here, he did not touch Alex Bowman, and that is true. He got the air loose on Bowman, but that to me is racing. If you want to try to get the air off of someone's spoiler, as long as you don't hit them, I think that's fair game. Like, I'm completely fine with that. So Bowman ended up crashing, but he, in my opinion, that is not wrecking someone, just getting the air off of someone's spoiler. That's just essentially, just trying to get them loose. You're not trying to wreck them. If you were trying to wreck them, you would hit them, which we will get to that a little bit later with the same driver. But yeah, Bowman ends up wrecked, which was unfortunate for him because he was actually running really well today for the first time in a while, in my opinion. And so he was like, top 10, sometimes top 5, and then, ended up getting wrecked there by Hamlin. So that brings on another restart where Denny Hamlin is on the, I think he was pushing Larson, and he was able to clear the inside line, and then he goes down in a turn 1. This is, again, with like 5 laps to go. It's Kyle Larson. It's Denny Hamlin. Both of them are on 2 fresh right side tires from like 35 laps ago. Truex was on 4 fresh tires, but again, the tires kind of evened out with the whole situation of how the race went. But here, Denny Hamlin drives Larson up into the wall. Larson hits the wall, and then that was basically the end for Kyle Larson. He ended up finishing in 20th place because obviously, he got into the wall. Now, why am I saying Denny Hamlin is a hypocrite? Well, after the race, Denny Hamlin essentially said, I don't have his exact quote, but Denny Hamlin essentially said, you have a choice. You could lift and you can race it out, or you could get in the gas and hit the wall. Now, listen, these guys are incredibly smart. Denny Hamlin is an incredibly smart person. He's a Hall of Famer. He's, super, super smart. I like Denny Hamlin. I like his podcast and everything. But Denny Hamlin does have an ego. And sometimes that ego definitely comes out to show. And he's an absolute hypocrite in this situation. And let me just explain. He did the same thing to Ross Chastain last season, but Ross Chastain deserved it. Why? Ross Chastain was wrecking Denny Hamlin. He was being a hack. So Denny Hamlin was like, all right, you're going to be a hack? I'm going to throw you into the wall. He did that on purpose last year. This year, it's the same thing. He throws Kyle Larson into the wall. Does Kyle Larson deserve it? No. And is the mood completely different 1 year later? Yes. Is the racing move the same thing? Yes. Turn one, off of turn one, and you push him out of the groove. You're not putting him in the wall technically. You are not shoving your car into his and pushing it all the way into the wall. But you are putting him in the wall because this is racing. We get it. If you're going to shove someone out of the lane, they have nowhere to go. It's like if you were in Formula One and you put your car, someone's to your outside, you put your car on the inside and you shove them, or you take your normal line all the way to the curb. Well, if you go all the way to the curb, where do you expect the car to the outside that you're supposed to leave room to? Where do you expect him to go? He should just lift. Okay, you want to do that? Fine. But you should be penalized for that. The stewards in Formula One will penalize you if you don't give the other driver adequate space. Denny Hamlin was not ahead of Kyle Larson. They were directly side by side. And what Denny Hamlin does, he would be incredibly mad and go on his podcast the day after if he was Kyle Larson. If you put Kyle Larson below him and you put Denny Hamlin in Kyle Larson's position and we play the exact same thing, Denny Hamlin would come on the radio, he would be very upset, and he would talk about it on the podcast the next day. He's a hypocrite. And he knows that. Denny, you know that. Don't fucking lie. You know that. So these guys, their egos are inflated, and they feel like, I could just do whatever I want. There's a lack of respect between the drivers. Denny Hamlin and Kyle Larson are friends, but on the racetrack in modern day NASCAR racing, there's a clear lack of respect. It's take, and never give. Those two should have easily been able to race it clean. They should have. You should have easily been able to race it clean. You didn't have to win the race coming out of turn one. Got side drafted into the tunnel turn, continue battling it out. To just wall someone like that, these guys don't care because there's not really any consequences anymore because it's becoming acceptable. Oh, Rubbin's racing. The fans love it. The fans do love it. But there is hypocrisy here. If you are a race car driver, there's hypocrisy here. You're being a hypocrite. Because if I put you in that situation, you're not going to like it. Oh, but it's okay when you do it. And when you do it, that guy has a choice. He can lift. It's either he lifts or I'm going to throw him into the wall. Are you ahead of him? No. If you were ahead of him and he was on your right rear quarter panel, maybe you have a point there because it's basically your corner. But no, you were trying to make the pass. You were never ahead of him. He was on the outside. You drive him out of the groove and you throw him into the wall. And then apparently it's okay? Huh? You did the same thing to the guy you meant to do it to last year, and it was on purpose, and everyone was like, good job, because obviously Ross Chastain raced you like an idiot. But Kyle Larson races you clean, and it completely not deserved, but it's okay now, and it's actually Larson's fault because he should lift. Huh? Hypocrite much? Really? All these race wins, all the money in the world, I got you're a race owner, millionaire, you got the podcast, everything. A little bit inflated up here, Mr. Denny Hamlin. A little bit inflated. I love the guy. I like personality. I don't want everyone to be robots out here. but I don't like hypocrites. And Denny Hamlin's a big hypocrite here. If he does, he might come out on his podcast and say, maybe I was in the wrong when he cools down and his competitive nature kind of like flows out of his body a little bit. But there's no other way to say it. You can't. It's not acceptable. Guys, it's not acceptable to just drive people out of the lane and put them in the wall. If you think that's acceptable because iRacing told you that's acceptable because everyone in official does it, because everyone in official doesn't give a crap about each other, then you're wrong. Everyone's wrong. There is a thing called racing etiquette. You can't just decide to throw people in the wall. You're not right. You don't have the right to do that. There's racing etiquette. And the lack of racing etiquette is just very clear in my opinion. Like if you guys want to keep racing like this, I mean, you're just going to have 40 hacks on the racetrack because, let's just kumbaya, do whatever we want. That's not how it works. I don't want like stewards or officials ruling in NASCAR. That's not what I want. I don't want it to be like F1. But if the drivers aren't going to police themselves, then NASCAR will have to step in because I feel like moves like that are not acceptable. Not acceptable. Like, because you know what? Kyle Larson's a really calm guy, and he's most likely not gonna retaliate. But that's why they do it. And so in order to defend yourself, you have to race like an idiot too. You have to throw someone in the wall. You have to wreck someone. You have to be the aggressive one. You have to lose your racing etiquette because everyone else is losing their racing etiquette. So to defend yourself, you also have to race like a jackass. Really? I don't think that's acceptable. I don't think that's acceptable. Just my opinion. Like, there's hard racing. There's racing for wins. There's retaliation. There's revenge. But if you're going to make moves like that, in Denny Hamlin's case, what makes me, and it has always been like this, what makes me the most annoyed, what aggravates me as a race fan, is how drivers can't own up to it. It really, really frustrates me that you can't own up to, I slid him out of the lane and I put him in the wall. You know you did it, but you just, with your ego and your pride, you just can't own up to it. And drivers do that all the time. And it's very, very annoying. It happened today again, and I'm just kind of sick of it, really. And again, for Denny Hamlin, this has championship implications. He, in the mind of Hendrick Motorsports, wrecked 2 of their drivers. I don't put the Alex Bowman one on him. He just got the air out. But I'm just saying, in Bowman's mind, because again, they have egos too, they believe they got wrecked, and it's Denny Hamlin's fault. You are not winning a championship by pissing people off. Denny Hamlin should know this. And sometimes I believe that he has not, even now, even at the age of 40-something, whatever he is, he's not mature enough to understand you have to just not piss people off. And what he did today will come back to bite him eventually, and it might hurt his championship chances. And he has never won a championship. And no matter what he says, that pisses him off that he's never won a championship. Just don't do it. Don't be a hypocrite. You were a hypocrite today. Don't be a hypocrite. All right, let's go to the race results because I think that was the majority of the video here. I don't want to keep you guys too long, but Denny Hamlin, Tyler Reddick, Martrex Jr., Toyota, 1, 2, 3. I do believe they were the fast guys. Toyota was excellent today. Kevin Harvick in 4th, again carrying SHR on his back. The poor guy. Give the man some water. God damn, hydrate him. He is carrying SHR. I feel so bad for him. Good Lord. Ty Gibbs in 5th. Fantastic run by Ty Gibbs. He ran in the top 5, was running 2nd sometimes. I'm telling you, for a rookie season, I am really proud of that kid. Ty Gibbs is doing extremely, extremely well for his rookie season. It is making me believe more and more that when he gets a few more years under his belt, watch out. That is a 5 or 6 race win guy coming in. He gives me like William Byron this season, but William Byron, Chase Elliott, even like a Jimmy Johnson-esque rookie season, but Jimmy did win, I think, in his, was it Auto Club in his rookie season? So I don't want to go that far, but he's doing extremely well. I do believe he will be Joe Gibbs Racing's best driver in the near future, but obviously Christopher Bell finishes in 6th. It's kind of between those two because I have a lot of belief in Bell as well, but Bell has been around for a little bit. Gibbs is just a rookie. He's doing this well. I'm really, really, really happy with Ty Gibbs. I think he's going to be excellent in the years to come. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in 7th. Harrison Burton in the top 10. Good run for him. Eric Jones in 9th with Chase Elliott. Again, just kind of mediocre throughout the entire day. In 10th, I really don't believe he's going to win a race. I'm starting to really doubt it. Bubba Wallace had a terrible pit stop on the last stop of the race. He was actually running top 5. He could have easily been in the contention with all those other Toyotas. He should have been, but he had like a 18-second pit stop or something, so it kind of just absolutely screwed him. He lost his track position and couldn't get back up. Eric Almirola in 12th, Ross Chastain 13th, William Byron in 14th. William Byron lost his track position, late in the race, and decided to come down pit road from 4th place with like 10 laps to go just to put on 4 tires and see what he could do, but was never able to get up through the field. And yeah, Todd Gilliland, Brad Keselowski, Jay Allmendinger, Buescher, McDowell, Kyle Larson rounds out the top 20. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below of the race. Do you agree with my statements? Guys, I just don't like hypocrites, and I'm going to call it out when it happens. Nothing against Denny Hamlin. If it was Kyle Larson, if it was Tyler Reddick, if it was Chase Elliott, if it was Bubba Wallace, say the same thing. You know, when Bubba Wallace right hooks Kyle Larson, I immediately said he should be suspended, as all did everyone else. It's just racing. As fans, we can kind of see it, right? And if you understand racing, you can see it. Maybe when you put that helmet on and, you know, the temperature's up and you're feeling feisty, your eyes aren't really clear, your head's not clear. Maybe Hamlin will clear his head, but he was definitely a hypocrite today. Congratulations on the win, but you're going to suffer for that later in the season. I'm telling you. Hendrick Motorsports is not going to be pleased about what Denny Hamlin did today. And trust me, Jeff Gordon was my idol. And now that Jeff Gordon kind of runs that team, yeah, Jeff Gordon's a pretty feisty guy. I mean, he definitely was not adverse to throwing some punches and, getting up there. So he'll tell his team, which is why I'm saying don't piss people off. Be like Joey Logano when he won the championship. I'm telling you, when Joey Logano won the championship, he was like in peace, like no incidents with anyone, just, he learned from his lessons and he won a championship. Denny, it's been almost 20 years by now. It's been 17 years? Come on, man. Come on. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your day. Follow me on Twitter. If you haven't already, subscribe if you're new. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.